Welcome back to Wednesday night. Here we are again, Wednesday night. All right, we're just going to keep going. I had a little bit of a thought too at the end of the last episode that would be really good. We're going to try it on this episode. At the end of the episode, before I send you guys on your way, I'm going to give you a full view of the whole painting. I'll just kind of edit it in the end so you guys can see what the whole painting looks like. And that will keep you up on kind of the way that I do it. Like at the end of a painting session, I'll lean way back, or I'll hold the painting back far away just so I can get a feel for how it's all going. And I want you guys to have that too. So it's important because you will get kind of sucked into this thing, and you end up looking at this one little tiny area and you lose track of like what else is going on in the painting, the whole thing. So we're going to put that last bank of windows in down below. Wait, let me make sure I got enough of them. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm missing one. Get that last bank of windows in, and then we can clean them up. Get them settled here. Good. Straighten these out a little bit. I'm going to run right across. No, maybe I won't. These little gray verticals, the window, what's wrong with me here? The windows are like kind of recessed in there, so I'm not going to run this line all the way across because I'll just have to adjust it. So we'll just put the windows in first, and then we'll put the recessed ones in after. So the reason why obviously now you can see, the reason why I put in the airbrush lines, the cut lines, it makes it so much easier to put these windows in now because I know exactly where I'm going. Even though I'm kind of struggle bussing, I don't know why. Good. Well, the paint was a little bit wet. I was just going to say, do you remember that time when I cut out all the stuff and you guys couldn't see what I was doing because it wasn't on camera? It's just like that time I did all the windows and you guys couldn't see what was going on. I got to figure out a way to do that other than just, stop and look. But see how it pulled up right at the end there a little bit? So that's just because the paint was too wet. But now it's been in the brush for a bit, so it's drying out. So now I'll just go over it. So you guys will see what you couldn't see a minute ago because I was a dumbass and did this all off camera. So I'm just using the ruler as a straight edge. I have it lifted up a little bit. And that's what's keeping these lines nice and straight. So essentially it's like a maul stick, but it's a ruler. So it's a maul ruler. For those who want to look it up, it's M-A-H-L. It's an old painting tool. It's just a stick with a soft end on it. And artists would use it to draw a straight line, but also to rest their hand on too. So if you want to just paint something here, but you want to rest your hand on a bigger painting, you can use the maul stick to kind of rest your hand on while you're painting. Sign painters, letters use them all the time still. And oil painters, or painters still use them. I mean, you can make your own. Most people make their own, but you can certainly buy them. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. That needs a little bit of cleanup, but it's not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Another lighter gray here so we can clean this up. So it mostly needs cleanup where the paint was wet. Why didn't I come all the way down there? That's a mistake too. Clean up some of the blobs at the end here. And that one got a little bit away. It's better. Okay, and I missed on this lowest window. I didn't come all the way to the edge, and I don't know why. We shall correct that now. And you'll always notice when I, or know when I make a mistake, because I will make that sound like what I. All right. A little bit heavy on there, but that's okay. Let that dry. The recessed windows I'm going to wait on. I actually can't even really see them. Oh, okay. So there's this. And then there's this. There you go. Clean that up too, since I'm in the area. There are little details in these windows, but they're pretty slight. That's not a definite. I mean, there are three divisions here, like three separations in this front of the building. Come on, man, hang with me. Paint is drying really fast. Actually, I'm going to fix that first because the brush kicked out and made a big blobby right there. Okay. Better. Okay, good. And since I'm waiting for that to dry, we'll put these windows over here. There's still 5 of them, so this is probably a hotel. And these are the windows at the end of the hallway. Good. Yeah, that makes sense, because if this is a hotel, I'm not looking it up. No way. Maybe I'll look it up. If this is a hotel, there's probably a pool in the back of the hotel too. Although, you know, I was wrong about the school too, so. All right, that looks good. Actually, that needs to be cleaned up too. Yeah, editing, Steve won't be able to bring you back when I, you know, move this off camera and work on it so you can't see it. But if the reference photo is in the way, I'm sure you've noticed that the reference photo will disappear while I'm, you know, painting something where it shouldn't be. Okay, that's good. Now I can split this building into thirds. So there's one here. There's one here. And this repeats with the small windows. That's just lovely. Good. We'll let that settle for a bit. We'll work on the roof, I think. Yeah. So there's more air conditioning units or something. There's more of the yellow things. Japanese love their yellow squares on the top of the building. I don't know what they are. Oh, that's a skylight. That's cool. Okay. It's like a window up here. There's all kinds of other junk going on top of this roof. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Just a bunch of details on the top of this thing, and we'll finish that up. All right, good. I am happy, 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 happy. Let's look at the yellow on the palette. Put those on. We're going to finish this. Yes, oh God, yeah. I was just going to say we're going to finish this building in this episode, and we definitely will finish this building in this episode. Nice. I do get into a groove too, you know, it's like just, you know, like it's hard. Well, it's actually not hard right now. I was going to say it's hard if I'm only doing, you know, half hour shots, like, which is sometimes happens, like when I'm working on these paintings, not this one because this is specific for Open Studio, but if I'm doing a cityscape, sometimes because it's not a, you know, get it done right away, I'll just kind of pick at it whenever I get a chance. So sometimes I will work like, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes on it. It's hard to get into a groove, but when I do get into a groove, like when I have a block of time for one of these paintings, where I can just kind of go until I don't want to go anymore, by the end of it, you do pick up speed. You know, you do start to make decisions faster, which is really neat. And so it really does kind of pick up. You guys are seeing a little bit of that now because, like I said, I'm filming a few of these in a row. So the first one was kind of like, you know, dragging along while I'm figuring stuff out and getting back into it. And by the time, you know, the third or fourth one hits, I'm rolling. You know, I'm feeling good about things. So that's where we're at with this one now. I'll say it again, it's super weird not having any music going. What I like to do is have a specific set of music going on for a specific painting. Like I'll get into either a genre or try to do something, you know, from the painting. And that way it's neat because then whenever I hear that music again, I'll think of the painting, or when I see the painting, I'll think of the music. It's really kind of a nice thing. All right, we'll clean up these now that these are dry. Wow, this building's almost done. That happened fast. Okay. Yeah, I think that building's pretty much there. So let's put the airbrushing in on that now. Okay, so the airbrushing on this, so I don't want to get any paint on this little guy right here. So do I have a template that's going to work for that? Probably not. So we have to do it in 2 bits. Shave and a haircut. All right. So we're going to block the roof off a little bit first. Do I want to do it this way? It's going to suck. Don't be lazy, Steve. Don't be lazy. So, all right, we're not going to be lazy. So I'm going to grab, yeah, I'm just going to grab this template here that I used to cut out the roof stuff. And we shall sacrifice this one. Okay, this time I'll be on camera so you can see it. So what I mean by sacrifice is this now becomes a destructive template, which means I'm not going to use this part of the template anymore, the stuff I've already cut out, so I'm actually just going to cut out the whole building. So it becomes destructive because obviously I can't use this anything I've already done again. I try not to do this a lot because, you know, if something happens, it's nice to have, you know, a bunch of these floating around where you can just, oh, grab that same template. That's the template I used for the roof. So grab it again and just kind of go for it. But this one we'll cut it all up. So I'm going to remove that whole building. I'm especially concerned about, not concerned, but I'm especially looking at the front and the side. I don't really care about the top. It's just because I'm not going to be spraying up there. It's really just the front side of this building, which I may recut. I may not have to. I don't think I have to. But and the side. Okay, so that's what we want from this. That is what. Oh, I have the really strong black in here too, right? I got to get rid of that. The strong black. If I try to spray like a fade with the really strong black, it's going to. What do I got going on here? Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. It's going to be real grainy, and I don't want that. This fade needs to be really subtle. So magnet up there to hold things in place. Get rid of this. Jump back to this. So again, like I said before, you know, the way this is going to roll is, yeah, these first episodes we'll get a couple buildings done, maybe, you know, maybe even one complex building done. But as we move through this painting, then we'll do entire blocks, you know, as we get rolling and things get less detailed and smaller. So, you know, it does pick up speed. All right, first thing I'm going to do is the lower fade here. So we'll start down low and just kind of give it a little bit of something. The next thing I want to do is this front side of the building. Now it just has the most subtle difference in color. So all I'm going to do is block off the side and then really lightly just go over the bottom like that. See how that just gave it a little tiny bit of difference between the front and the side? And there we go. And look at how it just kind of sits there like a little building, like it should. And we still have time. All right, so we're going to keep going. We'll knock off this side of the building or this side of the painting. And we're doing good as far as not damaging this yet, but we're getting to the point where I'm going to have to spray this. Maybe we'll end, if I can finish this little block of buildings up here, we'll give it a little bit of UVLS on the corner here because we don't want to keep redoing it, you know, as it gets damaged. That little guy came out good. Came out fast and done. It's neat how that little tiny bit of shading down at the bottom really sets that building down, really plants the building. It's nice. What else we got? I think that's good. Yeah, I'll just do some of these buildings in the back, I guess. Oh, they're all dark gray too. Nice. Okay. So grab some grays. These are all paintbrush stuff. And this is a good example of what we were just talking about. So these little buildings that are tucked in back here are really just almost like just detail, like just a pattern. You know, they're not really, I can't see specifics. I can in the reference photo, you guys can see that. But in the actual photocopy, which is what I need to go off of, it's very subtle, more like a pattern. So we're just going to do, again, the picture determines what we're going to do here. So don't want to start making stuff up. Yeah, we'll end this episode by hitting it with a little UVLS to keep it safe. Grab some gray, keep this going. We're going to gray that out too. All right, and then there's a something or other right here in the corner. And I can't see that. Okay, good. Good. We'll just hit that a little bit with the airbrush and just kind of blend it in a little bit. Good. Well, that went fast. I love it. Okay, let's do the cheese wedge. We have time. So a little cheese wedge. This is easy because it doesn't look like there's any windows on this. I don't even know what this is. So we're going to clean it up first. Good. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of what we got, you know, just kind of rolling through this and making sure we get everything where it should be, you know. My apologies to whoever works or lives in the cheese building. I'm not making fun of it. I would love to live in a cheese building. Good. Now there's a big building right behind the block of cheese, the wedge of cheese. So that's going to define the other side of the cheese building. So don't have to worry about that yet. That's going to be thrown in with that, but a couple of details on that. And then we got to do a little bit of airbrushing on it to do the same thing, to kind of pull it in. And then this is a street, and there's a bus right here, but I don't want to do the, well, maybe I can. I was going to say I don't want to do the bus until I get the buildings around it, but I can kind of see where the bus is going to be. And no, to the question that comes up a lot is, you know, do you hide things in paintings? And sometimes I do, but these paintings generally I don't. But there usually are Easter eggs, like in the Boston painting. There's a garbage truck, which, you know, if you look hard enough, you can find it. So there are some fun things that go on with them. The garbage truck was actually in the photograph as well, so it's not like I, you know, needed to put a garbage truck in it. It was actually in the photograph. So same thing with this bus here. And I haven't got the bus in yet, but you'll see it in a second. You know, if it's in the photo, it makes it into the painting. Well, I shouldn't say that. I do take stuff out also. If it really like doesn't make sense or it takes away from it, I'll take it out. But if it's just a small little detail, then it'll definitely stay in, like the bus. So the bus is white. And the bus, I gotta make sure I look at the photocopy because I don't want to put the bus in bigger than it really is because it is micro small. This is the bus right here. And all it's going to be is a little white line. Looks like two little white lines. That's the bus. Again, not much, but there it is. All right, gonna do a little bit of airbrushing on the cheese building before I forget. Now for the cheese building, I don't have to block anything off because I'm shading on the road, which is also really dark, so it's not going to matter if I get oversprayed. Just got to make sure I don't get it on the high school, you know, top of the high school right there. But I shouldn't if I'm worth my weight. There we go. That's all. Just enough to ground it. All right, what else we got? How much time we have? We still have 4 minutes. This is awesome. See what I mean? We're burning now. So this little green patch back here is like another tennis court type of thing. So I've got it as a wrong color. It's just kind of a bright green, lime green there. It's more of a tennis court green here. So we'll grab some moss green, some black and white, which will give me this more Tennessee court type color. A little bit darker. There we go. That's better. And we'll block this in. Oh, it's even greener in the photograph. But I just might leave it this color because it's not that bad. That's definitely got to dry though. That's super wet. All right, so let's see. Yeah, we have a few minutes left. Okay, good. So we're gonna let that dry, and then I said I was gonna hit this with UVLS. So we're gonna put some, what are we gonna do? I should use gloss because it's the strongest. Do I have any gloss mixed up though? Just have high gloss. All right, we're gonna not do that yet. So I can find gloss. No, it's high gloss. I have a lot of high gloss. Or transparent sealer. How about that? Transparent sealer is even stronger. Let's do that. What I have here is Autoborn transparent sealer, the 6000. And I already have it pre-mixed. This is a 20% reducer, so 4011 reducer. It's ready to spray. I'm going to use an airbrush for this. I would normally use the little Grex Tritium, which would spray the whole panel, but I'm really only concerned with this area here. I don't want to keep spraying the whole thing with transparent sealer, the entire thing every time. Just want to kind of like hit the area that I'm working on so that in the end there's not like, you know, 80,000 layers of this stuff. Not, I mean, you don't want too much of it anyway, but you know. All right, so we'll use the Eclipse CS. This Eclipse CS is a little bit special though. It's got a 0.5 millimeter needle and nozzle in it. So this is the Eclipse CS, but it has the guts from the BCS, which you can do. You can swap out the internal parts from these two brushes because they're compatible, which makes it really nice. So what happens is I have a 0.5 millimeter nozzle, the bigger, heavier needle and nozzle, in a gravity feed brush. So I kind of get the best of both worlds there. And like I said, you can always swap it back if you want to have the more detail-oriented 0.35, which is what comes with it. But for me and this brush, I use this as kind of a, Craig Fraser calls it his blaster. So it's puts out a lot of paint. You get to paint t-shirts with it, essentially. But I use it for mostly metallics and color shifting, you know, heavy pigmented paints, and also clear. All right, so we'll load this up. A little bit of transparent sealer. Is that dry? Yes. And I'm just going to lightly go over like an area out to like here, you know, like this area here. Not, you know, fade it out into that. There we go. Awesome. So we'll let that cure for the next episode. And what that's done now is I've got a pretty nice layer right on the edge here, and that's really what I'm looking for. I want to really protect that. So as I'm working over here and my hand's resting on this, I'm not scratching off all that work we did. All right, so let me switch out. I know it's a little bit long today. I'll switch out to the entire view so you can see it. This is how it's coming out. And again, I want to thank you all for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. If you're new here, definitely subscribe and hang out with us. If you want to support what we do here, you can become a member. It would be awesome, both on Patreon and YouTube. They directly finance all this online shenanigans. So thank you very much to everyone who's doing that. All right, so for Steve Leahy and Open Studio and Lachlan's Eyes, through Lachlan's Eyes, I will catch you guys next time. Have a good one.